Thank you for listening to Two Girls, One Plant.
We're your hosts, Madison
and Jillian, and this week we're introducing Two Girls, One Plant.
Woo! We're here in a garage. This is awesome. Love it. Thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome for giving us this space. We were kind of like, this was like a really last minute idea for us, and it's just kind of like come to be. So I'm like super excited.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
Jilted Studios, Jilted Media. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've been really helpful in setting this up. And we just kind of wanted to give you guys an episode introducing the podcast, what we want to talk about, and who we are.
Yeah, totally. So Jillian and I met over Facebook, I believe, right? The first time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Through the Denver Plant Pals, which is a Facebook group that I run for everybody in Colorado, honestly. There are people all over the country in there now. But for people around Colorado to learn about plants in this area and in this climate. And it's great because we do meetups all the time. Mm-hmm. And Madison is always there to lead the meetups and tell us how to run plant swap properly. And yeah,
I'm kind of bossy.
It's great. I've seen some other plant nurseries really struggle to do plant swaps, and ours actually went really well.
Yeah, it was so fun. I think we met, though, at the Denver Botanical Gardens for the first time, like in person, right?
Is that really the first time?
Yeah, I think that was over the summer.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think that's when we first met in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got rained out.
Yeah, I do remember that. And we basically just saw the tropical plants.
Yeah, we just saw the tropical plants. Totally worth it. And then we're like, great, okay, we can go because of the rain. It was super fun.
Yeah, it didn't last very long.
Yeah. But I remember when we were at Botanic Gardens, I really like asking people certain questions about houseplants. And I think that's kind of interesting and fun, little tidbits about people. So, what you doing? Great. Am I okay? So something that I always like to ask and find out about people is just like how many plants they have, what's their favorite, what's their hardest, what's their most rare, most expensive. So this is going to be a plant-focused podcast. It is going to be a plant-focused podcast, and really, I just want to get to know more about Jillian. I'm sure everybody out there listening wants to know more about Jillian, talk about us. And so, how many plants do you currently have, Jillian?
Well, after my 2-week vacation, probably down to like 50 to 75 plants, which is actually much more manageable. So I can't complain too much about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say is like your most rare? Like, and that's so subjective, and we're going to talk about rare plants later, but what would you say is like your most rare plant, your most coveted?
Yeah. Personally, I think the plant that's like the most rare that I'm most excited about and that I waited the longest to purchase is my Begonia pavonina.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I saw it in a video on YouTube, and I was like, that's the most striking begonia I've ever seen.
Right.
And it took me a long time to get on Steve's leaves fast enough to order one.
Steve's leaves, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a stressful site to go on.
It's so stressful. And they started doing auctions to try to make it better, and it's like, I just can't.
Totally.
Yeah, too expensive. But
so what would you say is your most expensive plant? You want to drop price? You can. It's a safe space.
I know.
No judgment.
Honestly, I haven't spent like a ton of money on a single plant. $30 is usually like my max.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really ordered a lot of plants online, so like locally. So I'd say probably my most expensive plant was like, I would say my Raven ZZ, because I didn't get the Amazon one. I got, the tiny Green Lady Cardens one, which is great because nobody had it at the time.
Right.
But it was like $30.
Yeah.
And it was tiny.
Okay.
And it's still not very happy.
No, really?
No, like at all. Like I just reached out to Mickey the other day, who's another person in the group who like basically is my go-to for all plant questions.
Mickey is awesome. Shout out to Mickey.
Yeah, shout out to Mickey. And I was basically like, I'm killing this thing. So I literally took it out of the pot, took pictures of the roots, sent it to him, like the whole 9, to try and figure out what's going on with it.
Yeah. And then what other fun plant questions? What else did I say?
I don't know. How many plants do you have?
How many plants do I have? Oh my God, a lot.
I know.
I think I have close now to about 130.
Damn, okay.
And I'm looking to get rid of some, so hit me up. That's like my goal. But 130 was like the last count that I did.
That's quite a few. I thought you had less than that, especially before you started working.
Yeah, I have a problem. Yeah, I counted about a month ago. So right around Thanksgiving, I was just like curious and I was watering everything. So I just like was counting as I was going. I was like, oh, how did all this happen? Where I have more now. Okay, I thought I had like 100, but
how do you count like one plant? Is it like one pot, one species?
One pot. Yeah. And if there's like 2 or 3 little like 4-inch pots that I like potted up, I just count it as one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I count propagated stuff too. So because I feel like those are even more diva-y sometimes.
It takes up space.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And what's your most rare plant?
Oh gosh.
Is it your pink princess?
Probably not. It was the pink princess. I think now it's definitely probably my Thai constellation that I got from Green Lady Gardens. Yeah, that I feel like because rarity is like, again, it's so subjective. And I think it's what's like highest in demand and what's most coveted. And I think like Thai constellations and pink princesses are like they're in so much demand. Like, yeah, it's harder to find, but I don't think they're necessarily rare. But for what I have, I think definitely the Thai constellation is definitely my most rare one. So
that's fair. And it's doing well since you bought it. That was a few
Oh my God, it's put out a new leaf.
Oh, yay.
It's put out a new leaf. I have it directly under my grow light. Nice. And it's still in those little clay ball pots that
the little leca.
Sold them in leca. Yeah. Still in the leca. And it's doing so good. So no root rot. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Not yet. It's easy. And leca, you can like almost see it, like you don't have to worry about it as much.
Totally. And that one is my most expensive.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I paid, that one was $150.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people would not pay that much. And I felt like I already had one. And that one I had bought from the exotic plant sale was $120. And that one was at the time my most expensive. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get another one. How often does this happen? Just do it.
In Denver.
Exactly. Yeah. And I had just started a new job. So it was like a congratulations gift to myself.
Yeah. You gotta celebrate the special occasions.
Yep. $150 plant is my spoil myself. So,
nice.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it.
Totally worth it. So how long have you been in Colorado? You're from Florida.
I'm from Florida, which is ironic because I wasn't into plants in Florida, which is really sad. They were just everywhere.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it wasn't
take it for granted sometimes, I feel like.
No kidding.
Yeah.
We've been here for like 4 years now or so.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it was shorter.
Like 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So we've been in our house for just over a year.
Okay.
And we spent 2 years in our apartment. So like 3.5 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And I didn't start collecting plants until we owned a home. Because I hate moving around. And like, I feel like it's really stressful for the plants. And I know people do it across state lines too. Like,
I don't know how they
so
do
much
that.
respect if you moved here from Florida with your plants. Because I know multiple people that did. And it's like, I don't know how you're keeping them alive.
Yeah.
Like, I was unhappy moving here. Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like, dry and
how old are you?
25.
So you're going through this quarter life crisis of just getting plants, which is not necessarily a crisis.
No, it's wonderful. They go like hand in hand with my antidepressants. It's perfect. I love it.
Plants are your antidepressants.
A little bit, though.
Totally.
A little bit.
Unprescribed. Maybe some other things, too. Some self-medication.
I work with all kinds of plants.
All kinds of plants, yes, which we will totally get into.
How long have you had plants for?
I started collecting plants this year. I started in January.
Nice.
And I had like maybe 10 plants, really basic Home Depot type philodendron.
Damn. And you got a Thai constellation at the exotic plant sale? That's so ballsy. You didn't have any other plants?
Right. No, yeah. That was like really simple, basic. And I just went balls to the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I just was like, when I first bought everything, I think I invested $500 into pot, soil, I mean, everything, because I told myself that I had a black thumb. And if I didn't spend ample amounts of money on it, then I would just not care about it. So I looked at it as an investment where I needed to take care of it.
Such a misconception too. Like I always thought I had a black thumb, and it's like you just have to do the research. Totally. Like it really has nothing to do with how much money you spend or.
I can't tell you how many hours I've spent on Google just researching plants.
Yeah, and like asking people on Facebook like what I'm supposed to do.
Totally.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you ordered your pink princess like right after you started.
I ordered it in April.
Because you got yours from Gabriella Plants.
Yeah, I got it from Gabriella Plants.
In April.
Shout out. Okay. They're awesome. Shane is an amazing.
They just raised the prices too, which I'm actually good for them.
Yeah, they needed to.
Yeah.
They needed
We can talk about that in another episode too. But yeah.
But yeah, I was on the wait list for my pink princess for like 7 or 8 months. So yeah. But that's how I really got into plants was this year. How long have you been collecting plants?
We bought our home in July of last year.
Okay.
So, like, as soon as we bought the house, I, like, went to Lowe's and came home with, like, a $3 succulent. Yeah. So, like, immediately I started collecting. I just always bought plants.
Totally.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I started with mostly succulents. And then once I felt confident, I was like, all right, let's do this. And I bought, like, some real plants.
Succulents are the gateway plant.
Yeah, they really are.
They are.
I love it.
Which is so weird. Like succulents, like everybody says that like succulents do not do well in Colorado. By the way, we live in Denver. So like which is so interesting because you would think like it's such a dry climate here that like they would do well here, but people say all the time like they don't do well in Colorado and I'm like I don't know. I feel like mine do.
They do pretty good. They just don't like the cold. So, I mean, to keep them inside, but otherwise they do great. Yeah. And they go dormant, you know, like
do they?
Most of my cacti.
Yeah.
Like most of my cacti, I won't really water much over the winter.
Yeah.
I'll go from watering like every couple of weeks to like once a month or so. Okay. And like some of my succulents I'll water less, but it really depends. I don't know.
Okay.
Depends on like how much sun they're still getting and all that jazz. Yeah. But it's cold and the days are shorter, so they're a little dormant. My succulents and my alocasias, which have all just stopped, they're all just done for the season. So
mine are too. My alocasia like completely died back. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll see you in the spring, bitch.
Yep. See you soon.
I'm not going to stress about you. And they're so like common. So
yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, not worried about it.
Okay. So what's your favorite nursery then in Denver?
Ooh, favorite nursery. Probably it has to be Nick's Garden Center.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, off Chambers and Iliff. I just love that place. I remember when I first went and really got into plants, like everybody was like, you have to go to Nick's. It's like 5 minutes from your house. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And I went and it was like middle of winter to spring was the first time I went. And I went in their greenhouse and I was shocked at how big and lush and beautiful and warm and inviting, and everybody there is so amazing, and their variety and their prices are phenomenal.
So now you basically live there.
I basically live there. Yeah, they all know me. Every time I come in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Madison, this Luna. Is what we." And then they get excited to see the dogs. Yep. What about yours? What's your favorite nursery or garden center in Denver?
My favorite nursery is the Herbery. Yes. It's just so cute. It really feels like home. I'm a huge sucker for it. I did like a whole series on YouTube of like my favorite nurseries in the area. And after touring all of them, it was honestly the most finicky and the most difficult to get video of. And it was the hardest to like find the right time for them. But it was great because it's really like just the owners that you're dealing with. And they're like so sweet. And it's literally the carriage house of their home that like they've converted into a plant shop since the 90s. So it's so cute.
Yeah. And they have like crystals and incense in there.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of stuff.
They have like a car in the middle of the shop.
Yep.
What kind of car is it? It's like a Ferrari or some like sporty little red 60s car.
It's me. It's a red car. That's like what I've got. I'm sorry.
We're here to talk about plants, not cars.
I know Alex would know. I could like grab somebody else to tell us. I have no idea. But it's in the middle of the shop and it's got beautiful philodendron hiding it from the rest of everything.
I love that place. I haven't been there. I think the last time I went was when No, did we go to the
No, because it ended up being closed.
Yeah, that's right. It was closed that day. Ugh.
Yeah, but we'll have to go on another nursery tour. Yeah, we have to go. It's great because over the winter, they've got this huge, beautiful, variegated hibiscus tree that lives in the back.
What?
And they brought it into the shop because we've been having such a rough winter. So there's like a huge fucking tree in the middle. I shouldn't curse in the podcast.
We can say fuck. It's fine.
Good.
It's us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's like a huge tree in the middle of the store.
Oh my gosh.
It's beautiful. It's like the most, it's so cool. So it's totally worth going.
I love
even though it's winter.
hibiscus. You like rarely see those.
Ever, especially in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. It's totally worth it.
Go there.
And he's got a plumeria in the backyard. So like pro tip, if you like talk to the owner about it, the husband, he'll like show you the plumeria and talk about it forever. But it's like a huge, like 5 foot, 6 foot plumeria tree. It's beautiful.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's not open to the, it's in like the back of the shop on the back patio. You have to like ask him about it, but he loves talking about it. So
they're really nice people.
Yeah, they're super nice.
I love that. I feel like in Denver too, like a lot of, and we've been brainstorming a lot in like future episodes, and we really want to talk about like local mom pop places. Like, don't get me wrong, we love like box stores, like no hate to them, but like I feel like Denver has such a great like variety of mom pop places, so we definitely want to do like a future episode about that.
Absolutely. You're talking about all the cute little shops. Maybe we can get a couple of shop owners in here to talk to. We'll see. But that brings me into the next question. Like, what are you hoping to get out of the podcast?
Well, so I'm very opinionated. Jillian, do you know this about me?
I might have had an inkling before we started.
So I'm super opinionated, and I'm on Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter, YouTube, all these places I go to find information and see other people's opinions. And a lot of times I agree with them. And then there's that one opinion that I just totally disagree on. And I just want to talk about it. And I also get a lot of joy about talking about plants. And in that culture and the subcultures around plants, there's house plants, bonsai, fairy gardens, like the list goes on and on and on.
Just orchid people or begonia people.
There's so many different subcultures. It also really ties into, for me, witchcraft is another big thing. I feel like green witches, there's so many subcultures in the culture of plants. So for me, it's really allowed me to talk more about my interests and find more in common with people. And so it's just exciting for me, and I just like to talk about it, and I get really excited about those things and sharing my opinions. So that's why, I came to you and was like, hey, we should do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's try it. What about you?
It's fun. I mean, honestly, really similar, because I started the Denver Plant Pals and didn't really think it would
go follow.
I know, right? Go join our group. It's really fun. Password's begonia, but like.
Everybody, the password is begonia, okay?
But like, read the rules too.
Read the rules.
But like, it's really fun, and I've actually met like so many cool people through the group. So I thought it would be great to do this with you and meet other people through something like a podcast and a forum like this where we get feedback from other people and get to talk about stuff that's happening in the plant community, because for some reason it's become super trendy in the last couple of years, and so. There are constantly things like moving and changing and shifting, and it's interesting to talk about it and see what's happening.
Yeah, and I think like for us at least, I think we have we're very engaging as far as meeting other people. So like you said, it's just another forum for us to talk and meet other people.
Yeah, I'm pretty introverted, but when it comes to plants, I mean, it's easy. Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah.
Right? How many followers are now on Denver Plant Pals? I'm just curious.
We're a handful away from 800.
What?
We're 790 something right now. I know, it's really wild. It's really wild.
What are you going to do for 1,000?
I don't even know. Alex has talked about doing a giveaway in the past, and I thought that would be cute. I also really want him to design shirts for us. We've talked about doing something so you can spot a fellow weirdo out at the nursery, and you don't have to make weird eye contact with them and try to figure out if they're in the group too. Yeah, I thought that'd be nice. So I don't know. We'll do something fun for it, but it's unexpected. We'll see when we hit it.
Totally
not put in the cart before the
horse,
you know? Right now I'm focused on our holiday party, which will have already happened when this comes out, but I'm very excited about. So
yes. So we have a lot of ideas for the future episodes. You want to talk about some ideas that we have? Is it going to be plants 100% of the time? Is it going to be what do we want to talk about in the future?
I mean, it'd always be plant related in some way, but it's going to broach all kinds of topics, like, people in the plant community, like Kaylee Ellen or Enid, or
Plant-fluencers.
That's cute. Or, like trends to keep an eye out for, like the whole pink Congo thing, or, some stuff even in Denver that's getting sold is like albos and stuff that aren't really super healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know, different things like that are happening in the plant community and are connected, even if they're not necessarily about plants.
Right.
As much as we'll also talk about our favorite plants.
Yes.
Just saying.
And I think we talked a little bit too about how we want to do like maybe a few basics episodes.
Yeah.
So basics as far as like what we've done as far as like water and what we've found works and tips and tricks. Especially like, a lot of people who start into plants, they're overwhelmed by just really simple basics. Yeah. So it's really like doing your research, but not being stressed out about it. I really want to have a couple of owners of these plant shops in Denver come on and do like an interview with them. That's something.
Jessica.
Paige, yeah, Jess. please come on our podcast. You're amazing women. And I have a few friends who are witches who I would love for them to like read us, and our birth charts would be really interesting.
That'd be fun.
Talk about crystals, but it all is relation to the foundation of plants. It's always going to be related back to that.
Yeah, well, we kind of have a little fun talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have lots of ideas. But yeah, that's
us.
That's us.
So thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
And we will talk to y'all in the next episode.
Cool. And then where can they find us? Do we want to talk about, platforms as far as like where we're going to have this podcast at? Where did we talk about? We talked about we're going to have it on iTunes, Spotify,
and
Amazon,
Google Play,
and Google. Amazon. Yeah. So we're going to start with those and kind of go from there. Because again, we're new to this and we're just trying to figure out this whole podcast realm of things. So we're going to be uploading on there, and then potentially where all podcasts are listened to is the goal. And then IG, do we have our IG set up?
We can by the time this is released. Didn't we actually do that though?
Yeah, didn't we set it up?
I don't know. It's possible. I don't
Isn't it
my phone? But you can check.
We can check. Hold on. I'm looking. I forget what it was.
Check the handle before we finish recording.
Let's see. No. Did I write it down? Did you write it down? I don't remember. Hold on.
Yeah, I wrote plug socials, but I just wrote personal podcast and then the Facebook group. Even though I remember us going through and talking about it. So
it's 2 Girls, 1 Plant podcast.
Okay.
Was the
that's the handle on everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. 2 girls and then it's numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we can plug our personal if you want.
Okay, perfect. So everybody can hear all of our podcasts or find us by looking up 2 Girls, 1 Plants podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll also go ahead and put in all of our socials down below.
Yes.
My Instagram is just Pups and Plants.
And mine is Amusing Plants.
And then
follow.
Come find us at Denver Plant Pals. We have an Instagram and Facebook group too, so we'd love to have you.
Yeah. Jillian does a really great job of being the admin over there.
Yeah,
so.
Tiny plug. It's really fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, everybody. And we look forward to more plants in the future.
Have a great week. Thanks.
Bye. Yay.